Hey, what's going on, guys? So after seeing Formula One and seeing other reviews from people and channels here on YouTube, people were talking about Gran Turismo and giving references to that film, which I had never seen before. I remember when it came out, I just didn't have any interest. I think because I was like, there's no way it's going to live up to the video game and all this kind of. For whatever reason, I did not give it the time of day. Just watched it now, so this is a day after seeing F1, and I have to say, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is a much better film. I mean, I think it's a better racing movie. F1 may experientially and just immersively be a more authentic, which given their marketing, they say it's the most authentic racing movie ever. And in my head, I'm like, but is it like a good movie? Or in this case, it may be the most authentic as far as, representing what it's like and being experiential and all that kind of stuff. But I have to say, dude, for all the areas that I think F1 was lacking from a story perspective, Gran Turismo completely knocks it out of the park. I can't believe I missed this. I don't know why I didn't think it would be good. David Harbour brings in such a great this film executes on everything that F1 was trying to do. Old generation, new generation, outsiders versus, being in the industry, like being embedded in the sport, like character dynamics, emotion. I mean, and it's still an epic, dude. I mean, it's like this blockbuster brings it in a way that F1 completely leaves on the table, and I'm really shocked. Honestly, I mean, F1 now after seeing this feels like a combination of this and the Netflix, documentary series F1 Drive to Survive, because really, I mean, this is from just having like young hotheads trying to, I mean, it's almost like there are certain beats and where F1 decides to pick up from Le Mans, Gran Turismo ends at Le Mans, and it's such a better payoff. I mean, Brad's finish winning, in Dubai is so anticlimactic because it culminates with, them as a team, him and Damson, and Damson takes the, out of choices, basically gets taken out of the race. Brad finishes it off, so they switch. So Brad, who was the bruiser, becomes the person who scores the points and wins at the end, and he kind of achieves his sort of driving high, and he gets to be in this moment and live on this. But dude, in this, the 24 hours actually is compelling. Like the way they're cutting between the drivers and this whole buildup is to Le Mans, and like they have to place, and the stakes for losing is so much higher versus like, oh, someone who may be rich, it just gets pushed out by the board and they sell it off and all this kind of stuff, because in a way that you don't really feel, because the way that Brad interacts with people, you wouldn't really believe that Javier is actually his good friend. They may have driven together, they may be in a code, based on just the world, but you're like, okay, sure. And Brad also conducts himself in a way where it's like, yeah, okay. But in this, dude, the parallels are so interesting. Every beat, even the injury, hits so much harder in this than it does for Brad's character. Brad gets taken out, and it's like all we can do is bring up that he was a driving risk from the beginning based on his injury 30 years ago. But that doesn't come up, and they have this sort of like, oh, he has this weird vision. But like, it's not a detriment to him finishing this race. Here, the young driver is traumatized from something he's done as his first experience with the true danger and death of this sport, and then it's about him having to overcome that and actually pull himself back up and win this race, dude. I mean, it's insane the way that, I mean, seriously, I mean, it's completely different. Neil Blomkamp is the director of this, written by Jason Hall and Zach Balin. I think everyone brings in great performances from this. Archie Madekwe really shoulders this entire film, and I think prior to this was his main, basically his introduction before, and then doing Saltburn. But he emotionally carries this movie between him and David Harbour in a way that's so unexpected. The script really injects very genuine, authentic emotion that this story, I mean, it's 2 hours 15 runtime compared to the 2 hour and 35 minute runtime of F1, and I feel like it covers so much more ground. It puts in way much more work emotionally grounding this film, giving the character something to actually build up towards. I mean, you have everything from David Harbour's character, who, like Brad's character, has a past similar. I mean, I'm telling you, the beats that they took between these movies, and the fact that there's an actual redemptive payoff in Gran Turismo in a way that you just don't have in F1. I mean, David Harbour now, lives vicariously through this team, helps coach this team against all odds, helping prove that sim drivers, can compete with the world's best in a way that I forgot, because it even says at the beginning, based on a true story. I completely forgot. And then at the end, they're like, yeah, this real guy, and they show the actual guy and the parents, and I'm like, this is a real story. I mean, the way that they do this is so impressive. I mean, and then kudos to like Jaimin Hunsoon, authentically portraying, this protective African father, really concerned for his child's well-being. The payoff is so fantastic between him and his son. There's just so many emotional touch points in here. The love interest is actually earned in a way that it wasn't in F1. I think the mentor and student thing is so much more developed here. The racing sequences are just as thrilling, even though you're not inside the driver's seat. I think this was an introduction of when you had the drone shots, that whole Michael Bay drone swoops and things. There was nothing left to be desired after watching this. Even Orlando Bloom's character having something to actually lose. This guy's putting his neck on the line with this, bat crazy idea to bring these people in and do this. It's just so much more. Honestly, it's a better film. It's truly a better film. A sleeper in my regard. I didn't even realize, but if you haven't seen it, you have to see it, because it's shocking to me that F1 would even attempt to do what it did, seeing this, but not getting anywhere close to the emotional setup, like emotional weights, story payoffs, or anything like the way that this did. This is random, but hey, I had to just, after seeing and hearing about it, I just had to go and check it out and see for myself. And I have to say, Gran Turismo is just overall a way better racing film. It's a better movie than F1. F1 can rely on the charm and the Hollywood of it all with Brad Pitt. It's an attractive movie to look at. Gran Turismo is also much more cutting edge in the fact that it cuts in these CGI shots between the simulation and the cars, and it was a neat idea. And while the graphics don't hold up as much anymore, it still works and it doesn't take you out of the film. And I just overall, I can't stop saying enough, like, it's just such a better film. So yeah, Gran Turismo. Listen, I know I'm so late to the game, but if you haven't seen it, go and see that movie. Let me know what your thoughts. Let me know what you even thought about F1. Go look at that trailer. I mean, I'm obviously far more excited from this than that. I stood up I stood up literally here in my living room, in my apartment in New York, 2 years later, when he crosses the finish line, winning Le Mans. Well, not winning, but getting third place, so they get on the podium. And I mean, I was like, yes! I was thrilled, man. The way that I was not, I mean, sure, F1, whatever, but the way that it ends, it's not a thrilling end, because it's actually more of this like poet, like, Brad's in his element and he just kind of gets to zone out and the road is his and he just gets to win. Like, it's not like a big thing. Like, it actually gets so quiet and it's tame, it's perspective, it's all internal, and it's just, ooh, and he gets to literally coast across the finish line. In this, it's like, dude has to get on the podium, and it's like the whole time there's that's another thing with this. There's an actual adversary, and it's not inner team, all that nonsense. It's an actual guy who was an asshole from the beginning of the film and is an asshole at the end, which it's fine. You can keep him that way. That's his plot device, but it makes sense, given the team and that he's this arrogant young whatever. He doesn't need to grow because we're not following him, and that's to his own detriment, and he probably won't last very long. But the way that we actually get to best him in the end and the whole payoff, like the setup of taking your own line and knowing the simulation and knowing all the hours that he's done on this and racing this track, and in the end, dude, he gunned. It's this whole thing is about photo finishes. He photo finishes again, and they place. Dude, Gran Turismo, check it out. F1. Now that I've seen this, I saw this after. I'm disappointed, man. I am so disappointed. It's still an enjoyable film, right? It's fine. I mean, the quick pans get a little exhaustive. They overplay that kind of, panning in right from a left to like they did the left turn and the pan in right. You see it a lot of times in F1. I get it. But damn, dude, Gran Turismo takes the cake as far as racing. It's still the best racing movie over this. I mean, it's crazy. It's just shocking how much I didn't realize. But yeah, Gran Turismo completely takes the cake. Well done. But hey, still go and see F1 in theaters. It's meant to be seen in theaters. Yeah, hope you like this. Subscribe. Like and subscribe, okay? For more enthusiastic reactions and reviews and responses just like this. And until the next time, go see some movies.